When you're going through that with the team, is there two things I suppose? Is that first of all, how does someone pitch an idea to the rest of the group and say, do you know, and the rest of the group nailed it, sort of thing? Is there a case of like someone tends to take the lead and therefore everyone listens in a little bit more intently to that one person who tends to create good ideas? Are there some people that haven't ever brought out a good idea and then like don't necessarily get listened to? I mean, it's kind of like politics, I suppose, within that idea creation process. Is there anything like that happens?
Sometimes everybody's interrupting each other. Sometimes people are jumping in and going, yes, and, which is like my little rule.
And it gets overplayed.
And things are bouncing around. Everybody's cool with that. You know, you will always have different characters. So there will be the person who's probably really quiet and then comes up with something brilliant. So there are some people you have to go, hey, John, what do you think? You know, invite them to share their thoughts. So, of course, you have different personalities at play there. As long as everybody's working together as a team, it should be cool that, like, interrupting isn't interrupting. Everyone's kind of excitable. And, you know, sometimes you have to re-interrupt to keep going with your idea. But it's, you know, you can all kind of work as a machine to get things going. Every once in a while, when I'm producing something or, you know, being the creative director of something or whatever, the lines are so blurred for a lot of these roles that I don't know what I'm the creative. But when I'm leading an effort like this, sometimes I will tell everybody, over the weekend, be thinking about this. This is the thing that we're going to be talking about on Monday. I will come to all of you separately. Sometimes I gather everybody's thoughts individually. We don't always get into a big session like this because these techniques, and some of them are, you know, we call them techniques, but a lot of them are just, you know, not even methods. They're just ways of thinking.
Yep.
Because these ways of thinking are so, you know, prevalent in our team now, we don't have to walk through everybody going, if it was a person, what would it be like? That's just the way we think. So I know when I say, here's a brief, think about this over the weekend, that's what everyone will naturally be doing. I can do that stuff while I'm driving. I don't need a whiteboard to be thinking about, you know, what's, you know, the worst that could happen. And so sometimes I'll just go one by one to everybody if we don't have time for a whole massive brainstorm or whatever. So it takes many different forms. So yes, sometimes there's one leader who's like standing at the whiteboard writing stuff down. You know, sometimes someone's just tasked with keeping notes on their laptop. In these sessions, we have a box and phones go in there. Laptops are not allowed except for the person who's keeping notes, unless the notes are just going on the whiteboard. That's important because it can be, especially as creatives, and a lot of us are kind of like frenetic, sort of bouncing around. It's really easy to just half listen and half play on our computer. And everyone needs to be equally engaged so that everybody is giving in, you know, as much effort as their colleague.